Right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much. I'm glad you all managed to get here despite the traffic. I'll just confirm that the fact that this particular meeting is being recorded and that there are changes to the way that the planning function is completed by Harpenden Town Council, in as much as that different types of planning application, certain types of planning application will no longer be automatically considered by the Town Council's Planning Advisory Committee unless by exception requested by an interested external party or a Town Council. And those are single-storey rear extensions, garage conversions into habitable space, summer houses and offices in gardens, variations in removal conditions, porches and conservatives, repairs and restorations to listed buildings, advertising outside the conservation area, non-material amendments. So thank you for that one. Can we move on? Any apologies?
No, none of them.
Thank you. Right, declarations of interest?
No. None.
Right, I have one, and that's one of the items that affects 7 Cornwall Road when it comes to it, so I shall withdraw and Pip will share that one. Thank you. There we go, it's a while since I've done this. Okay, minutes of the meeting held on the 3rd of October, previously circulated.
You was in all day, wouldn't you?
Yes.
Are we able to confirm they're a true record?
Absolutely okay.
And are there any material matters arising?
No.
Thank you. It's just the invoice that go through initially.
Just, yeah, each side.
Each side.
Each
Right.
thing.
Okay, lovely. Thank you very
Okay,
much.
thank you.
Any public questions?
No, none of them received.
Right, and then we're now considering the various actions 2010, 2017 and 311, is that correct?
Yes, so you've got, so applications registered weekend in the 20th of October, 27th of October and the 3rd of November, with the 3-week period expiring 10th of November, 17th of November and the 24th of November.
Brilliant, lovely, thank you.
Okay.
Letters of objection.
Well, there's one for 7 Cornwall Road which was attached to the agenda, and then in front of you you have some tabled letters that have been received since the agenda was circulated.
We recorded no appeals have been received for consideration. Any prior notifications?
Yes, so there's, I think there's a couple for Harpenden. Yeah, it's actually just the one for Harpenden which related to 24 Springfield Crescent, but we do not comment on prior notifications.
Lovely, thank you. And I trust everybody's noted the list of weekly Silver District Council decisions.
Yes.
Okay, well, turn that over.
And on to the application for tree works also.
Thank you.
Okay.
And I'll come back to you.
Yeah, we'll come back.
Thank you.
Perfect.
Right, first application being 5 172642, East Harpenden, 2 Manland Avenue. The recommendation is no objection subject to no loss of amenity to neighbouring property to 4 Manland Avenue, policy 76 of the district plan refers. So we wish to make
Happy with the recommendation. I looked through it and I agree with it.
Do you want me to do sort of the reason behind my recommendation?
Yes.
Okay, so previous proposals refused were for an extra house on the site, so which is what you can see here in the history relating to this site. There is no second or roof level accommodation proposed in this particular application. Other houses are of a decent size in the road, with plenty of parking, plenty of space around the new dwelling, causing no loss of community. Why I came to that decision or recommendation.
Pretty good.
Okay, fine. Well, I shall step out of this one and if Councillor Martin would be kind enough.
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you. I'll probably go out.
You can go into the mayor's room if you so wish.
Fine, lovely, thank you.
Okay, so 7 Cornwall Road, which is an application for a single-storey front porch extension and front access ramp. I took the liberty of actually doing a street view to this site. There was a letter of rejection that was received beforehand, in addition to the letter of rejection that we received since. These are the drawings. The general flavour, if you like, of the reasons for the rejection relate to the fact that it's a conservation area, the cottages or the terraced houses in this particular location of a particular style and character, that it's believed that this additional porch that will come beyond the line of existing porches and the building line of the existing house will be detrimental to the character of the street. And also I think there's some ill feeling about the ramp as well, the nature of this broken ramp up to the front of the house.
Am I right in thinking we have no detail about the ramp?
I think there's a small amount of detail that you can see on the drawings. Let me just have a little look. Right, okay. All that there is detail in terms of the ramp is that there is a ramp from street pavement level to ground floor level is proposed. The property already has a ground floor WC/bathroom usable by a disabled person. There is no sort of description as to what the materials are that they're proposing this ramp to be.
It's going to be a permanent ramp.
Yes. Let me just see if there's any mention actually in here.
What's the actual extension now?
Sorry, again?
I can't work out what the front porch extension is actually going to look like.
Is it not in the drawings underneath what Mike's got? So just under Mike's left hand, there's another drawing just there.
Here?
Yeah.
This one?
Oh no, it's this one here, isn't it? Yeah.
Screen.
So essentially, if you look here, Harry, it just gives you an idea that it's going to be that's existing sort of line, almost, of where the existing porch is at the moment, and then it's going to come out slightly further.
So a little bit like the neighbouring property then? Yeah.
Potentially, I think it might come out slightly further than that.
I think we have to take into account this particular one next door, which is
And the one down the road as
It's like
well.
a wooden
different.
one next
You know,
door.
which has already, I won't say defaced, but it's already changed the character of the one. And the one, two doors, because it's so narrow, this one, two away to the left. Okay. That does come forward quite a bit. Yeah.
So which number is number 3 the one, this one here? Or are the numbers then up on this road?
So we were looking at number 7.
Yeah, 7, yeah. Who's
So-
the co-owner of 3 Cornwall Road?
Okay, I think so. So this is 7. That I think is 3.
Or 5?
5. Yes. So that's 5 and that's 3
So
there.
they're moaning about
Then
Something.
about number 3, which is
no, number 3.
number 3
Oh, the
is
one
mainly
right
about
in.
number 7, which is
Yeah, and they've got
3.
So they're referring to a porch as well as number 9 has a porch as well, aren't they? So its overall size, the footprint ratio to the size of the front garden and height relative to roof height relative to existing porches at 3 and 9 Cornwall Road and original bay windows to all properties. Proposal contravenes 85 district plan development conservation areas. So basically what they're saying is it's much larger scaled porch than what is already there at 3 and at 9.
That, I thought that's what I don't know. That's number 3.
So that's 3 and that's number 9. So that's 5,
Yeah.
7, 9.
Which is 5. It's the
5 is the one with the sort of kind of the
Shall I
eggshell
number?
coloured door.
3, 5, 6, 5. I mean,
There's that one there which I just found, which shows how much further the porch comes out. Sorry, Harry, I had that under my hand.
This is interesting.
Yeah, I'm sorry, that's probably really important.
existing ground floor plans, porch, raised step.
They essentially wanted to be able to use the proposed porch for the storage of either a wheelchair or a pram.
Bad idea. That one comes out roughly about here.
Yes.
Around about that. Oh, sorry. One eye's not very
Yes.
good.
Well, that kind of shows what they're proposing. You can see
thank
by
you.
the existing that, so they're taking the roof line across here.
They're doing like the roof line in line with the top of the bay windows, aren't
Yeah.
they?
So where you have at the moment, I'm guessing,
Yeah.
like separate front
Yes.
doors and separate
That's
bay
the roof line
windows.
here.
Yeah.
So that,
What policies are they're quoting policy 85 or
yeah, would be conservation
58.
one. But street sealing, see, but,
Where is the extension?
so do you honestly think this affects the streets, do you, Randy?
No, I don't, not really, no.
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 So that's one thing.
It's a small porch.
These other, the roof line over is not over the other porches, but it goes over the windows.
So these are in the conservation area.
Yes, quite definitely.
And they're actually locally listed as well.
So number 3's porchway itself comes forward quite a bit, but is not as high.
I think it's the height and the fact that it's coming out quite a lot further. Pip, did you see the one that Harry's mic has just got there under my hand? The actual, that's, yeah. Could you show Pip that, and then it gives her an idea as to how much further it protrudes than the existing lines of the porches.
Okay, yeah.
And then sloping around the pub.
Well, under policy H5, extensions shall normally be designed to leave the original building form predominant. I don't think the original building form won't be predominant with this.
No, I mean, that's a porch. It's not going to affect the...
Yeah, I mean, it's not like they're extending here. It's not like they're extending the whole, they're doing a 2-storey extension. Height, roof shed and skyline shall be appropriate to the locality.
So, I think this one shows it as the roof. There's the roof
Yeah.
bit, so that shows the
Continuation almost.
the continuation of it, and that's, I mean, first, does that honestly affect the character of the building, as I said, the street scene?
I don't think it affects the street scene. I mean,
No.
if it was a 2-storey extension, a monstrosity going up, then maybe, and if they were doing something completely different, I don't think it affects the street scene. And what was the previous one you said?
I'm particularly going by this front elevation drawing here, and these sort of odd improvements are fine. This is a very small alteration to the property, really small. I think it's not. It is okay. Just to keep the character of the main doorway. Everything else is kept here. So really, it just comes down to just do we think that that's okay? This roof.
Yeah, I'm really
Okay, Pip, do you want to sort of kind of summarise as to what you
That
feel?
is, I think it comes down to this consideration of that. But anyway, people are hear what you
Yeah,
say.
well, my main considerations are really the look of this. After living in a Victorian cottage for many years, I think it is important to keep these little street scenes. So that to my mind is one of the key issues, and the fact that it protrudes further towards the building line to the rest of the property. So I can take obviously your views that next door's got a porch as well, but this is going to be quite significantly deeper. It's just querying the materials as well.
Well, we've got to keep materials,
I don't know that they are using the same materials, are they?
Do we know what the materials they
It's got
use?
existing bay window concrete tiles replaced with grey natural slate.
Yeah, it's different.
Oh, if they're using different materials,
Yeah,
that changes
they
things
are.
around
Oh,
a little
yes,
bit.
I would agree with that.
Yeah, because it says here on the application that the existing roof tiles are plain sand-based concrete tiles, non-interlocking. Proposed roof tiles are grey natural slate at pitch to match existing. So they're actually going to have a different look to them as well.
To match existing grey slate, are they talking about these ones?
And pitch to match existing.
Oh, and
the
pitch. Oh,
yes,
right, okay.
the pitch bit will match the existing pitch, but they're going to be grey natural slate as opposed to the materials that the house already are.
So if they're using different materials, completely different materials to what's on there at the moment, then that changes things for me quite a
Yes,
bit.
because the materials have got to be the same.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that would affect the street scene.
Yes.
So how would you like to, sum up your feelings anyway then, Harry?
Well, I am personally happy with I don't necessarily object or see a problem with the proposals, the extension. However, I am concerned and would refuse it on the basis of the fact that you're using completely different materials. If they were using the same material, if they were using the same brickwork, then I would be happy, but as it stands there, with the materials they're using will drastically alter the street scene, I think. Not necessarily the porch itself, but the materials they're using.
I have no objection to the basic proposal here, the fact that it does alter the roof line of the other below the windows, but I go extremely so that I would not only express concern about the particular materials, but I would be opposed to the thing if they use these materials, use what it was describing. They didn't keep the same materials.
Okay, so are you both looking to suggest refusal on this?
Due to materials.
Based on materials?
Yes, yes.
Do you want to say anything about the projection to the building line, or the...
Personally, I haven't got any, as I said before, I haven't any reservations about that, but this is it is the materials which changes the street scene completely.
I have no reservations about the roof line or the general application itself, to put the porch there. So, yeah, the actual proposal, but it's just the material.
Okay, so is it a case then that you don't have an issue in a sense of having a porch in this location, but you feel that the proposed materials are not in keeping with the conservation area and the existing street scene?
Correct.
Yeah?
Correct, perfect.
You're right to use those like whilst we have no...
Yes, so I can say that the committee had no objection in principle to a porch in this location. However, expressed also recommend refusal on the basis of the proposed materials on this locally listed building in the conservation area. In the conservation area, yes, so along the lines of that it's not in keeping with this street scene on this locally listed building in the conservation area. Something like that, is that okay?
I'll do that.
Right, I will listen back to that. I'm going to call
I'm sure there was a foot there, didn't there?
but I will email you
Well,
with those words.
It's crazy.
So that you're happy with what I've said. Okay.
They're going so well, and then they
Right,
can't
I'll
understand it.
get Chris.
Let's go on, please.
I mean, that must be common sense. If you're going to do something like that, sure.
Whoever's advised the pen.
Did you not go into that far one?
No, I'm not really, so I'm just reacquainting myself with the lovely months of the third.
Just to let you know, the committee has decided to recommend refusal, but actually based on the suggested material used rather than the building line or...
The principle. No objection to the principle of the porch being built, but the street scene would be completely because the
proposed materials.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on then.
Oh, look at this. No comment.
Are you done the next 5 points?
Well, pretty much, yes.
I mean, is it traditional that we read them out?
Don't.
No, appeal like that, right?
I want to go down to page 13, top 5, 172824.
Correct.
21 Barnes Dean. Discharge of condition review. No, right. Discharge of condition 3
No, so that's the
No, it's
history,
that's the
sorry.
historical one. I beg your pardon.
Yes,
I'm going to go to the
okay,
bottom.
so it's a proposal, yeah.
Single-storey front extension to create new porch, part single, part two-storey rear extension with roof lights, first floor slide extension with front dormer, ground floor front roof conversion from flat to pitch roof, and alterations to openings following removal of one chimney stack. Right, no objection, provided no loss of amenity to neighbouring properties. Policy 72.5 of the district planning first.
Okay, so the reason for my wording is that I cannot see any change to the proposal from the previously approved schemes. Repeat the wording from last time.
Yes, we said the same thing last time, so I'm happy with that.
That is perfectly correct.
5172862 Harpenden House Hotel, 18 Southdown Road. Display of two signs attached to Uras fence at site entrance.
No, sorry, that's the history, so
Oh,
it's up
okay,
here.
that
So
one up
it's this
there.
one here,
I beg
display
your
of 9 non-illuminated hoarding signs.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
They're non-illuminated.
Yes, so non-illuminated, subtle coloured graphics to be attached to the hoarding, only temporary, seeming keeping.
Yeah, I'm happy with that.
Fine, objection. Right, part single parts, two-storey rear extension, 517286, 132 Top Street Way. That goes on with a single-storey side extension, insertion of windows, side elevation, and installation of roof lights.
Okay, bungalow to the side is a good distance away. 45-degree angle seems to have been taken into account. No increase in the bedrooms, it's just enlarging. Neighbour has a single-storey rear extension limited.
Yes.
That's the reason why.
The neighbours got it as well.
Yeah.
Look at all this.
No comment.
Application does not meet the criteria for consideration.
Yeah.
No, see, that's the new
The
one.
rest of the page is good.
Got a bit of a break this last few weeks, haven't you?
No. my first two lists were lovely. I think, what is nice? And then my third list, I had 27 applications. The most of them I had to look at. So, no, it was the sort of lull before the storm. And then,
Top of page 15, 5172907.
that one
There we
doesn't
go.
meet the
Well,
criteria.
Does not meet the criteria, sorry.
It's okay.
Right. Okay, fine, next one down, 5172963, 14 Carpers Close. Part first floor, part two-storey front extension, single-storey rear and side extension, parcel garage conversion with new pitch roof, 14 Carpers Close. So express concern that
Same word in the
previous reasons
Yeah.
for refusal have not been sufficient.
Although there has been a reduction in size and the bulk of the front extension, I'm not sure that enough has been done to satisfy the reasons for refusal. We're always a bit cagey about front extensions, aren't we? Yeah.
Okay, by me?
Yeah.
Did you want to look at that, anybody?
No.
Chris, do you want to look
I'm
at it?
okay with that
You're happy?
one. Yeah, thank you. I'll have a quick look on the website. So. Five 172976, 8 Clarendon Road. Single-storey rear extension, rear basement extensions including the lowering of ground levels to the rear, alterations to openings, installation of roof lights following the removal of the original part single-storey rear extension, construction of roof terrace, amended to planning permission to previous planning permissions.
Okay, the only changes to the previously approved scheme are to the roof design to the rear. No significant distance, no impact on the neighbours.
No, I think
Yeah,
it's fine.
yeah, I concur.
Are we okay with hip roof and that sort of thing? We've not gone from hip to...
No, I
Or
think,
anything like
to
that.
be honest, do you want to look at it and I can show you? Right, so this is the scheme that was approved. So there's the back of the bottom so I can see what we found out for that. So that was what was approved, and this is what they're proposing now, and it's literally a change to this section of the roof here. So, if we look at
Right, okay,
that
we'll
side,
find that.
yeah, so it's not higher up, it's the lower down. It's I think it's one of those houses where the back garden slopes away quite a lot, so it's, in a sense it's there, but it's actually at ground level.
That's fine, though, it was brought authorised,
Yeah.
so want to double check that we hadn't gone away from it.
No.
And the street scene and the rest of it.
So if you look here, so this is the one that was approved, and then this is how it's going to differ. I think it's this bit here, it's gone for that then.
Thank you.
Okay.
Everybody else okay?
Yeah.
Right, 5172987, 47 Tucknells Way. Single-storey front and side extensions, first floor infill extension to increase side dormer window, roof light and alterations to openings. Recommendation is no objection.
Yep.
Okay, the layout of the houses are staggered, and the neighbour extends further forward. Relatively small scale additions shouldn't cause any impact.
Right, single-storey front and rear extensions and installation of roof lights at 8 Moles Cross.
Doesn't meet the criteria.
No,
Sorry, I have to go down and work up.
You'll get into the flow.
Well, eventually, yes. Give me a couple of years. Right, okay, new porch, part single-storey, part first floor front extension, including relocation of integral garage, conversion of a garage to a habitable room with bay window, two-storey rear extension with first floor Juliet balcony, roof lights, new pitch roof to front and rear dormers, and alterations to openings following the removal of chimney and its existing conservatory.
Yeah.
That's 33 Oakfield Road.
Yeah, that's fine, especially on Wakefield Road.
Okay, the proposals relate to
Can't see a
changes.
parking problem there.
Proposals relate to changes previously approved on the previously approved scheme, reducing the height of the roof but extending its depth, removing a dormer to the front, extending the ground floor to the rear, no major design changes. They've changed their mind a bit, basically.
Yeah, that's all.
Another one that doesn't meet criteria.
Demolition of the existing porch and construction of two-storey extension at 9B Rosebery Avenue, Harpenden. No objection subject to appropriate design for use of materials in conservation area. Priced at 85 of the district plan refers.
Yeah, happy with that.
Now, well, can I ask actually to look at this one if possible,
Yeah.
please? The reason being is that today I just looked on the internet to see about in letters of objection,
Yes,
and there
I see.
were on this. Although obviously I've made the recommendation, I'd like you to have a little look. And I've got a copy of the gentleman's letter of objection here, actually two letters of objection, to be honest. One from number 9, which I believe is this house here, and then the other one is for number 11, which is the other house on the other side. So, the site is quite an interesting one because it looks like it's sort of one house, but it's actually a pair. They're flats. There's a ground floor flat and a first floor flat. Okay, so essentially what they were looking to do is, you can see to the right of the property there is a little porch at the moment. They're looking to replace that porch with a two-storey side extension, which will include various things, extending the kitchen, having a bathroom and a utility and things downstairs. So I have no major issue with it to start off with. However, there have been a couple of letters of objection online. So the gentleman living at number 9, which is the opposite side of the side where the development is going to take place, so we object to the proposal on the basis of its scale, depth, bulk design, close proximity to the common boundary, and the precedent it sets for a similar development at 9A Rosebery Avenue, which I think is probably their main concern. The proposal represents an overdevelopment of the site and would appear contrary to regulation on the distance between pre-existing properties It's also upkeeping with and detrimental to the character and appearance of adjoining locally listed buildings within the Harpenden Conservation Area, which are of architectural and historic interest, and the street scene more generally. We understand the desire for people to improve their property, however ultimately the area is either a conservation area or it is not. So I think their main concern really relates to potentially the precedent being set for the side on that they're making.
Does it actually breach the distance between properties rules?
I can scale it, but in my view, no, it doesn't.
That's all right.
That's the main planning consideration.
Yeah, so I can actually scale it, so let me just have a little look.
Window
But
distance.
to my mind, the extension's not detrimental to the house itself.
No.
No, I think part...
It would only be to the neighbouring property here, wouldn't it?
It's an infill at the end of the day anyway, so it's tricky. So it is actually just under a metre. Just under a metre away.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, just under. It's about 800.
800 metres?
No, 800 mil. So 800, yeah, so it's just shy of a metre, yeah. So it is just, yeah.
That's building to building.
Yeah, so that's building, that's the end of the building to the boundary. Yeah, so
it's got to be a metre, hasn't it?
I don't think it does have to be. I think 800 is more desirable to be, but I don't think it has to be.
I don't think so.
I think it is actually just
Is that method completely accurate as well?
This is, the scale is 1 to 200 at A3.
Oh, Harry.
Which is what it is. So I mean, on the basis of that, I can...
Within margin of error, maybe.
Yes.
Well, you can understand why they've gone to 80 then, can't you, if that's what the policy
Yeah,
is.
I think it's desirable, but it's not essential. I mean, we've seen it where they've built up to the building line at ground floor level and then stepped it in for first floor level.
Yeah.
So there is still essentially a gap down the side of the...
Yes.
But at the end of the day, we can look at it because there's been these objections raised. So similar situation really with the people at under 11. We object to the proposal on the basis of its scale, depth, bulk, design and close proximity to the common boundary. So they're in the sense of keeping what the gentleman number 9 is saying. And also making reference again to that it's not really in keeping with number 11 and number 9.
Building law, wasn't it?
So it's really a case
Yeah,
where...
exactly, yeah, good
So
point.
we can argue that.
Yeah, and we've seen applications where, like I said, they've gone right up to the boundary, and it is close to the neighbouring properties. This one, they're not going right up to the boundary, there is a gap there. I don't see there's going to be any loss of amenity to the neighbouring property.
I cannot see any reason why this should be opposed to it.
Actually, they're showing there.
If you look at your existing thing.
Oh, they're
Yeah,
showing
it does this.
Yeah.
And that doesn't, it's not going to take light away.
No, it's not. No.
Yes,
And
it's
they're
over
set back,
metre.
that's set back anyway.
Yes, let me scan it at this one. This is the, oh no, I can't, because it's at one, A1, I can't do that. I can do the other one at A3.
But according to those...
Yeah, to the drawing,
It's
yeah.
over a metre, actually.
Yes, so there we go. I mean, do you want me to add in the additional wording of subject to no loss of immunity to the neighbouring
That's
property?
a-
Because this is a bit of a cover.
It's a good thing to do.
Yeah,
Just
cover
You happy
our
with
act.
So it's,
I mean,
in
what...
principle, I see no problem with it in principle, but I do like the no loss of amenities.
Yeah, in a sense, when you look at it with, yes, I mean, the infill doesn't match the houses either side, but in a sense that decision was taken many years ago. We need to look at to see whether or not we feel that it's in keeping with existing. The property is going to be extending, not necessarily to the houses either side.
Precisely.
It looks actually better.
Yeah, it looks more balanced.
Yeah.
It's an old building anyway in this particular road.
Okay, so I'll add that additional wording in that's subject to no loss of immunity.
Happy with that? Happy with that?
That's helped me. No comment.
Here we go.
Certainly got some meaty bits. Ah, there we are, finally.
My goodness, that one, I would have mentioned one, 15, obviously 15 Longcroft Avenue, that's been going on for years.
Was it the Band of Best
Yes, that's the one, it's been going on for years, actually.
Okay, 5172928, 67 Cowper Road, first floor side and rear with front and rear dormer windows and roof lights, single story front infill extensions with partial garage conversion, enlargement of existing front dormer window, alterations to openings, flat roof to existing rear extension. And you're coming up committee to consider.
Yeah, I wasn't sure about this one. Right, okay, so it's essentially the house with the green spot.
Cowper Road, tricky one.
Tight parking with all the problems.
No, it's further along actually.
Oh,
They
it's
have got
top end.
parking, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Further
okay, that's
along.
good.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll just put the drawings
I
out.
actually took a look at this one today, and that's it. You're almost a Gilpin Green.
Oh, really?
It's up to top end, but parking still being a consideration.
On the left-hand side of the license, as you go out.
Right, so my wording was, not sure about the impact on the neighbours and the street scene, roof, question mark. Not sure that it really looked like it was sort of in keeping. Neighbour number 69 has extended, but not so much at first floor level, gaining an extra bedroom, unsure of sufficient parking due to the loss of the garage.
Yeah.
Okay, so,
And then they're changing it from 3-bed to 4-bed as well, aren't they?
yes, I assume so. Yeah, I knew they were adding a bedroom.
And moving the garage, yeah.
Yes,
I thought if you put
always the point.
Thank you very much.
Are we showing hip roof on this?
So that there is the existing,
Right.
those existing elevations, and then Harry's got the proposed in front of him.
Ah,
Do you want to see them?
could you please?
You have to share Harry.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so that's this one then, this is the proposed, so it's, you know, we're essentially filling in all of this area here.
That's going to greatly outbalance the pier.
Because although the neighbour has extended,
You know,
it's not
Kept-
quite the
kept the,
same degree.
I mean, it's past the hip roof. I'm not quite sure how to explain that one. Can't remember the technical term for it. It's not exactly hip, is it? But
Well, you know, if you look at it, it's essentially anything that you can see that's got this sort of lining is new.
Yeah.
So parking's an issue, and scale, bulk and massive
Yeah.
is an issue.
Yeah.
Looking out
Street
of
scene.
character with, well, I mean, not necessarily say the street scene, because street scene varies on Cowper Road.
It does, but all right, okay.
But
If we
yeah,
talk about
the
the balance of the
yeah,
there.
yeah, the neighbouring properties, yeah.
Because if you look here, look, it's coming out like that, because that's the side elevation. So that is essentially what number 65 is going to have, sitting right out.
Yeah.
You've got nothing at the moment there at that first floor level. So.
Amenity to the neighbouring property as well.
It's like that with the Julian balcony, with whatever people feel about Julian. Personally, don't have problems with Julian balconies because all you're doing is effectively opening up a bit at the bottom underneath.
Juliet or Juliet?
Juliet,
Oh,
sorry.
okay, yeah.
Yeah, the code find it.
Well, the Juliet balcony.
The age of equality.
The Juliet balcony is essentially really a safety rail. Yeah, it does.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
We had one at 51 Leeson Road, which went through planning commission. But actually, they couldn't tell the balcony. That was the other Juliet balcony.
Yes, you can open the doors.
Just open the doors.
It's safety. It's safety protection.
I think that scale, bulk, massive, too much. Parking's an issue.
Yeah.
Impacts on neighbouring property. Amenity
Yeah.
as well to neighbouring property. Is that should be raised? That is there going to be any loss of amenity?
Yes. Certainly think it will.
Yes. Well, I think they're all
Yeah.
grounds for refusal on this one.
I would be happy with
Anybody else?
He's got it.
So, we're going to recommend refusal?
Yeah.
Yes, I agree.
Okay, so I'll just make some quick notes of bulk,
Scale and
massive. So we've got effect on the effect on the street scene.
Yeah.
I'll put this into some proper wording. The street scene, and then you were mentioning about the imbalance of the
Between the
pair.
pair, yeah. Okay, I mean, overdevelopment is the point of it, from the point of view of the balance of the pair.
Yes.
And then we were concerned then about insufficient parking.
That's only concerns, you know. It doesn't say it on the plans, does it?
We've got an extra bedroom in there.
Yeah.
And
Got the photo, we've got the photo in there.
the parking.
Yeah, that's it.
And if
Right, that
no
well up there.
impact on
There are two cars, sorry, there were two cars.
Amazing.
there.
Yeah, but they're changing it into a floor. They're losing the garage and they're putting an extra bedroom in.
As Harry said, we put on against the neighbouring property.
Can you someone pass the water, please? Water.
We should take you to
Yeah, we'll take you to-
hydration
yes.
council meeting.
Might have to do some birthday treatment on you, Harry.
Yeah.
Have you ever done it?
No, I haven't.
Don't have water, we're all
They're
right.
going to test reactor.
That's all right, we've got the code for the defibber, all right.
Yes, I've got it on my Kindle that will be downstairs, because I am the first aid for the office, so.
Okay, fine, thank you for that one. 5172941, 94 Top Street Way, two-storey side extension, part single, part two-storey rear extension, and installation of roof lights.
Yeah, they're all doing that along here.
No objection, subject to no loss of amenity to neighbouring properties and sufficient parking provision in the site. Policy
Yeah, I think you've covered our
72.5.
usual worries.
Yeah. Standard Top Street way.
Sorry, I'm a bit behind. One second, because it's 94 Top Street Way we're looking at. Okay, number of properties have done similar. A good distance to number 96, reducing the impact from the two-storey extension, increasing one bedroom, unsure parking sufficient.
Yeah. Okay.
I concur.
Meet, no comment. On to page 19.
Oh yeah, it does not.
Doesn't meet. Okay, so
It has 56
5172989,
applications, Harry.
44 Tennyson Road, loft conversion to habitable accommodation with rear dormer window, insertion of a window to side elevation, installation of roof lights of 44 Tennyson Road. I've always done with this. No objection, subject to the appropriate design,
We've had a
the
number
use of
of
materials on this locally listed building in the conservation area. Polly's 85 and 87 district plan refer.
No increase in footprint, just the roof accommodation with the addition of a dormer and deluxe windows. The number has done the same in the street. Shouldn't cause any impact on the neighbours. No parking for the house.
I seem to recall a couple in to virtually similar things, and we sat in on one of our plans, but also in this committee, and no objection to plans had no.
No.
Yeah.
You almost can't see it, to be honest.
That's the point.
This house has the most beautiful tiled sort of entrance area you can see. You know, that sort of comes the black and white.
Right, brilliant, yeah.
It's beautiful. And I don't. I'm just walking it, make it dirty.
Okay, 5172958, the Water Public House, Luton Road, change of use from Class A4 drinking establishment to Class A3 restaurants and cafes, with a two-storey front, side and rear extension and new flue following demolition of existing side extension. The recommendation is no objection. I think could we just
You'd like to look?
like take a look
course.
at
My goodness, he's doing a lot of things, isn't he?
He is.
He's,
So they
he
wouldn't
owns the property that's...
They should have changed hands.
They went
He
bust
owns the
people
3
before.
horseshoes, he's done failed on that one. He also owns the property that was next door to our last property, number 47 Luton Road, which is then put a second building.
He's renamed his house
Yes.
Southgate Court.
That's
You know,
right.
one of the numbers
That's
in
right.
Southgate Court.
not really material planning consideration.
No.
No, but it's amazing what he has done.
Achieved, yeah.
Mm.
Okay. So, they already had planning permission to develop this site anyway, but they're coming back with a much larger scale scheme. But obviously we've got the change of use because they're actually wanting it to have a cafe.
I don't want a Costa coffee. Yeah.
Well, according to this, it's going to be called something like Harpenden, what is it going to be called? Harpenden Cafe or something like that. Harpenden Organic Coffee.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, I put it. That's
Yeah,
all right.
come out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
as long
that's what
as
it
it's
says
not a
on
big,
there,
as long as it's
Harpenden
not a big
Organic
chain.
Coffee. Yeah, so...
Right.
That's also not planning concern, but
Absolutely
Anyway, so
not.
that's what it looks like on the outside, and then internally,
Right.
this is the existing at the moment, and this is the proposed, so they're actually going to have like a cafe basically, it's a seating area and the preparation.
Is it me, or does that just look like an extra house on the side?
Well, it's probably going another 2/3 of the old building, isn't it? An additional 2/3 roughly.
remember they sold us the garden where the houses are now,
Yes.
which we approved on this committee
Yes,
after
we
the
did.
second time. And yeah, so they're probably just filling in that bit out the back of the mortar now, which is
How does it relate?
redundant. It's just
That's
crap.
the size. It's the size.
How does it relate to the next deal? Certainly we've got a good ground plan on that one.
Yeah, there is one. Where is it?
Sorry, here.
There.
Yeah, all right, okay, fine, there we go.
So there's actually quite a substantial big
Space between.
fir tree hedge, I think, from memory. But it's not to say that that won't be removed in the future.
So what is the building next door? Is it a house or?
The house.
It is, right,
Yeah.
okay.
All houses.
Oh, sorry, the Methodist Church is 2 away, okay, fine. Couldn't quite go there from it.
Yeah, so no objection.
Not to a change of use.
No.
No, there's can be no change of use to A3. Because, A3 from A4. I think it's, maybe it's community use.
It's been called in both ways anyway.
It has.
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
Might
Right.
wait till it's called in both ways. So obviously, Patrick Stell has asked for it to...
Fair enough.
Yep.
No problem. Cosmetic criteria.
I think, my wording, I think it's something like a cafe sort would be welcomed on this.
Yeah, because if
in the area,
community
to
use,
be
so
honest.
it'd be better.
Again, not a material thing for us, so one wonders whether
The
that
pub.
would go there, but
Well, you think you've
There was
got...
another pub just down the
Well,
road.
I was going to say, because you've got Cameron Craven and those other offices, haven't you? Well, actually, and then
Yeah,
keep on
it's quite big,
extending the Batford Mill site, don't they? More
Yes.
units are being
And
let.
you've got this other pub just down the road, which is very simple.
all right.
Gibraltar.
Gibraltar, yeah.
Yes.
Right, 517. Don't forget that one. That's
No
fine.
comment. We come to no objection.
Sorry, where am I? Page 19.
Three oh
Now
five.
page 20 now.
3059.
No comment size.
It was a bit tricky sometimes deciding which ones I wasn't going to do. Some of them it was easy, but yeah.
There's a bit of grey area. Turn in.
Right, 517 3059, 36 Chesterton Avenue. 2-storey front extensions, single-storey rear and side extensions, partial garage conversion, insertion of window to side elevation, alterations to openings and installation of roof lights following demolition of existing conservatory. No
Okay,
objection.
there is a letter of support online actually, this
Oh,
one. Quite minor additions to the property which shouldn't cause any impact on the neighbours. Parking showing for 3 cars, no increase in the bedrooms, just their size.
Yeah, no, I couldn't
And that
agree.
area is full of
I agree as well. You're,
Top Street and Highfields.
Yeah, well, that's
does
fine.
meet criteria, no comment.
Yeah, that's fine. Those two now.
You've got a busy page, this one.
Right, 53 Ambrose Lane, single and 2-storey rear extensions, front porch extension, new drop curb and crossover, new driveway with associated landscaping and installation of roof lights following partial demolition of existing rear extension. No objection to the appropriate design. No objection, subject to the appropriate design and use of materials on the locally listed building in the conservation area. Policies 85 and 87 district planning refer.
Okay, seems to use an existing footprint for the extension. There appears ample space to the neighbour. Rather random development to the rear, which will be made more tidy by the proposal. It's sort of, it's sort of very hot sort of at the rear. There's no real sort of uniform.
That sounds a very good idea.
Yeah, I can do that.
Right, 5172984. Sorry, no comment. Yeah. Right, we're on to 5172986. 33 Park Hill, Harpenden. Demolition of the existing dwelling and construction of 2 4-bedroom semi-detached. With associated parking, resubmission following withdrawal.
Okay, this one, I think, went to your committee, this application, because it was withdrawn, but your committee said that the committee recommend refusal on the basis of the Hertfordshire Highways consultation response.
Has anything changed in the
So
actual application?
I've got...
I noticed highways didn't have any problem with it.
They didn't, actually,
didn't.
no. I didn't print off the drawings, actually, for the old development, and I probably really should have done.
Well, it seems like it's exactly the same.
It looks to me so it's the same thing. I agree with you.
Let me just see whether or not...
Were there any other reasons for refusing? It's not the
Well,
Hertfordshire
they
Highways
withdrew it, so
consultation
there
response.
clearly must have been sort of
An issue.
an issue that they felt must
With the
be,
access.
yeah. Let me just see. Okay, withdrawal application. The previous planning application was withdrawn partway through the consultation period following concerns regarding 2 matters. Firstly, the scheme did not meet highway requirements as the new crossover was too close to the junction of Park Rise and Park Hill.
Thank you.
The other matters related to design issues, namely the nature of the flank wall onto Park Rise, the height of the dwelling, window sizes and the use of the tile hanging on the front elevation. All these issues have been dealt with in the redesign, taking on board all the concerns raised in order that the scheme better fits the existing streetscape. The dwelling's proportions have been reduced with the roof design changing and lowering as much as the external finishes matching their immediate neighbour number 32. The lowering of the dwelling means a more gradual increase in height as the road increases. Right.
Yeah, I don't think I saw much wrong with these.
No.
Anything I couldn't work out. How many parking spaces?
Yes, I think
Well-
that's basically the main.
They've got parking spaces at the back here. There's an existing garage which I think by the looks is being retained, but whether or not that's for their use I'm not quite sure. And then there's 2 parking spaces
Spaces on the
here
front.
for those. But if they're 4-bedroom dwellings,
We should be
Yes.
providing
they
3.
should be providing a minimum of 3.
Okay.
Are we saying those ones at the bottom are theirs or aren't? We don't know.
The 2 at the bottom say plot 1.
Mm-hmm.
They say plot 1 parking, don't they?
Ah, right.
Yeah.
So obviously,
Proposed parking space, and this one here, obviously at the front of plot 2,
2.
is proposed parking spaces.
Okay, this one says park.
There's
this one says
3, actually, 1, 2, 3. So I wonder if the existing garage is being utilised.
Looks like it.
Let me just quickly look on here.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, the plot's large enough. As long as the crossover has been addressed and doesn't affect the
I didn't mind
the junction, and there is adequate parking. I can't find a problem.
Yeah,
I think we should say no objection, subject to...
Subject to.
Can we say
Yeah.
that? Because they're getting rid of the existing dwelling.
Essentially, yes, it's saying here that the proposal now includes 3 driveway car parking spaces at the front of 33A, and car parking for 33B has been changed to the rear and access from Park Rise. It will utilise existing dropped curb, and Howard standing, as well as existing garage to provide 3 allocated spaces and 2 plus 0.5 parking spaces of unallocated.
Well, I think they met the criteria.
Yeah,
Doesn't.
So,
Okay,
yeah, so what was the wording you'd like to say? Because this is a conservation area up there now, isn't it? That's far up Oak Hill.
No objection?
no objection?
Just a straight that?
Yeah.
I can't see you put in anything else now.
Yeah. I mean, there's nothing that affects them. I couldn't see that it was going to affect the neighbouring property down
Well,
there.
there's no objections.
And there was nothing at the back that it was getting close to or going to affect, so... Yeah. Okay. Fine, if we're satisfied with that one, we'll move on.
Lovely big block.
Open then.
Right.
You can usually tell actually with applications when they're sensible and they withdraw quickly and address it quickly that they're wanting to do the right thing.
Right, part single, part two-storey front extension, single-storey rear extension, garage conversion, insertion of windows to side elevations, and installation of roof lights at 34 Brackendale Road. Right. Take a look at this one as well.
Coming out quite a way on both sides of the front elevation, which is why it was so short. Okay, so that's existing and then this is the proposed. And you see sort of this is, so that's the existing in the front and this is the proposed coming out. See this here, this is a flat at the front and then replace it with that. No letters of objection on line, but
Oh, no, the other comment was, this has already been done at number 32.
Ah, well,
oh, has it?
really?
Yeah.
Oh, right,
Yeah,
okay.
again, I went up.
You went up there, did you?
And looked.
What, exactly this scheme?
Well, not bang. It's got the gable end now on, facing forward that it didn't have when it started out.
Oh,
I
okay.
don't know if we can get it. Can we get it up?
I can give it a go, whether or not it's up to date. You want me to do the street thing?
Please, yes, we could.
Is it 32 Brackendale?
34.
34.
Oh,
No,
well,
it is, it was 32.
the other one's
that-
32, but that's next door. So.
Oh.
There we go.
Where is it in relation to that?
I beg your pardon, I'm on the wrong.
That says 25.
Yes, well, I put in. Oh, that,
So that wasn't what I looked at.
right, so that there says it's number 34. That,
Right, so we move
that
down to
says 34,
32.
doesn't it? That's the
Yeah.
little white note.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's 34.
So that's 34, and actually, interestingly, Chris, there is the extension of 32.
32
staying in place.
under construction. Well,
Yeah.
it is there, but it's finished now, and it doesn't look too bad. Compared to that next door, I think I possibly would have objected to the one next door. So it doesn't appear a problem from that point of view.
I think it's okay.
Okay?
I've just put, subject to no loss of amenity to neighbouring property,
Yes.
Yeah.
You can always just put that covers.
just for the rear extension.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
It's only single story at that anyway.
Happy with that?
Yeah, I think so.
Repainted?
No objection, no objection, no comment.
I've had fun, as you can see.
Right, 5172834, 75 Top Street Way, single-storey front, two-storey side extension, alteration to opening loft conversion with roof alterations, rear dormer window and front roof lights.
I don't think there's going to be any houses on Top Street Way that are original anymore. Seems to have about 3 or so applications to Top
Yes.
Street Way every planning committee for about the past 2
Absolutely.
years.
One
It's all
wants to do it,
extension.
one
No,
wants
haven't it?
to.
Where have we jumped to?
Yeah, we're at the top of the page, aren't we, 26?
Yeah, should be at the top of the
Park
page. Yeah, 55 Park
Oh.
Rise.
Oh, you just
My
went
apologies.
past the no objections.
Can we stick on this one and go back for that one in a minute, since we started it?
All right then, okay, if you want to.
It's a bit
So,
confusing.
just
Sorry
remind
about
me again which one it was?
Fine.
75 Top Street.
Yeah,
That's fine.
I've
Go
got
back.
two no objections rather than no comments.
Okay. Okay, so 75 Top Street Way. A number of other properties in the street have done similar. No problem with proposed extensions. However, question enough parking as there are 4 bedrooms. And there is an objection online over the roof design.
And again, are we varying between hipped and non-hipped roofs?
So they were just, what these guys, from memory, is they're doing, they're literally just coming out as a side. So where we've gone from that,
It's interesting that the council refused one.
Yes, I see that.
Yeah. So again, this is one of a pair, isn't it?
yes. Yeah, the reason they refused it last time because it was a non-material amendment. So it has to have a full plan application, so that was the reason why. We wanted to make the change to that, to the application they did get permission for, but they were like, no, come back.
Don't particularly like the change in the roof. And not quite sure how, I mean, can we have a whack at the street scene on that one again, please?
I think it could be actually. Oh, yes, it was that one. Yeah, it's the one where he was this. That one there with the white door.
So can we just go that a little bit further down the street where you've got the one with the,
To the guy.
well, to the left, sorry, where we've got the black bit over it. Ah, right. Now that's one of the ones that's I've looked at and gone, how did we do that? Sorry, the other way. Right, okay.
That house there is the one in question that we're looking at. Okay.
Yeah, but if we go skip and go down to the one with the brown doors on the garage, there's one of the ones that I think, how the heck did we let that go?
The one with the brown doors on the garage. Oh, well, this one here.
If you look at the pair there, look at the pair. Sorry, that's what the point I'm trying to make is looking at the pair.
But that's because it's single story, isn't it?
Well, no, because you've got you've got the roof on the one on the left is sloping, and then on the other one it's a gable end. It looks absolutely horrible to me. But again, when we're talking about balance and the rest of it, and then you get some that try. Okay, this one's going for a small hit, but given what's happened to the other one, we've got little grounds to voice an opinion on that one. It's happened quite a bit, particularly around there, Fairmead, Highfield and that. I walked into Highfield the other week.
You've got it different again there, look.
Yes, yeah. But it is this balance and symmetry between two properties.
If you don't like the design of the roof, then we can say that.
Like you say, it's just that precedent in the street where you go down it.
Well,
Well,
the street
this
on
is
Top
just
Street
another
Way, they're all different, they're completely different, all of the houses, there's no real uniformity to it.
But that said, I think that we've lost the argument of that street.
Do you think? Yeah.
Yes.
Because if we go along, a little bit along, you can see sort of the different, I mean, even if you go on the opposite side of the road, and like this one here, look, that's a totally different house, again.
Yeah, that's a good
detached,
example,
isn't it,
yeah.
you know? And then we move on to these again. Whereas
Yeah,
that looks not dissimilar to what they want to do.
Yes.
And that, to me, looks as if that's an original build, because the one on the opposite side is the same.
Yeah, then we've gone to the next one along, and
Then
we got the lopsided again.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay,
So
fine. Well, that's basically
you know,
ruled that one
you say,
out.
how on earth did we manage to get that through planning?
Yeah.
I'm wondering if that was part of the design of the street, because it's
No,
just, again, that
no.
right-hand one again.
Well, I'm saying
I
that.
think,
what you
yeah,
mean.
Heather's
You know what I
right.
mean?
It's going to be
That's
too flat
probably
areas
the
together.
design of the street.
Yeah.
They're probably the same to start with, isn't it?
Yeah, so the fact that the left-hand one has got that big sloping, I don't know. But why on earth would you have a difference in the roof when there's no gain at all in the accommodation? There isn't, is there?
Right.
Really, when you look at it like that. But then you swing round, and then yet again, you've got different again on the opposite side. You've got all sorts of...
Yeah.
It's such a tricky road for you to be able to use
I'm happy with your comment.
Yeah,
I concur.
Sometimes it's interesting to see, actually, when you have applications that you're not so sure about, whether or not they do go through. Because sometimes we like to query it. No, okay, so that was 75 Prostitute Way, now we're going back to 55 Park Road, at the top of the...
Yes, my apologies on that one.
Okay.
I went no, and he said there's no objection rather than no comment. So, 5173072, 55 Park Rise, two-storey extension incorporating garage with 3 front dormer windows and alterations to openings after demolition of garage.
Okay, proposal is essentially building over the garage and more in the roof. Appears ample parking with the garage, corner plot, so reduces the impact.
Yeah, I'm happy with that.
Have we got anything?
There's no loss of car parking spaces.
Hang on, the boundary there.
Did you want to speak? Did you want to look at it? Well, no, the garage has been retained.
Right, that's already there.
Yes, that garage
Okay,
is already
fine.
there, and they're just making the garage a bit bigger,
Right, okay,
actually,
fine,
and then they're building above it.
That bit goes for me then. No, that's not a
Yeah, so
problem.
the garage is already there. Yeah,
happy?
you can see there.
Yeah.
They're making it integral. See there, Christy?
Yes, understand.
So coming across.
Yeah, no, that's it was the proximity of the boundary that concerned me for a moment or two, but seeing as the existing was.
Yeah.
Okay. 5173008, Hadley House, Oakhurst Avenue, Harpenden. Part single-storey, part two-storey rear extension, single-storey side extension, construction of two-storey outbuilding incorporating garage and office, and installation of roof lights following demolition of the existing garage. No objection.
Okay, sorry. Substantial plot. This is essentially in the back of beyond. It's down. To get to it, you have to go down a private road all the way down, and essentially they're almost onto the golf course down there, so there's nobody who's seeing at all. Yeah.
We're not really up there, are we?
I know it well.
We possibly are. Would you like me to look to see if we are green down? But anyway, they're building over the existing garage.
I don't think it's been built.
No, I don't think so either.
Don't think what?
It's green belt.
You don't? Right, okay.
Right.
Is the golf course not?
Golf course is.
But it is a Is this likely to actually... no, you can get on that, yeah.
What we would do is No.
No, it's
There you go.
Right, okay, fine,
So
thank
it
you.
goes around it. So
Close.
Close, but not quite. Okay, so substantial plot to accommodate the proposal to the house and will not affect anyone. Garage proposal also seems in keeping. The office space with a WC only, so no sign of the space being used as habitable space, which is usually our concern, is when you end up with sort of kitchenettes and all these sort of things, you start questioning whether or not it's an additional piece of accommodation, but it's not.
Yeah, I think I'm happy with that.
Okay.
Yes.
I know the area.
Right.
Okay.
So that finishes the
no
page.
comments, so that's okay.
2, 3.
Okay. Right, 30 Barnstein, replacement dwelling and associated landscaping. No previous history to consider. I didn't get a chance to look at this one. Big top bird.
Which unfortunately it does now. Okay. So, I'll get the streets in up on there. So that's what they're proposing to go in space. Let's see.
That's right. There isn't really a generic street scene crime
And
scene.
that's what it looks like at the moment.
All the houses are quite
It is quite a
it's
step
similar.
away, but
I was happy with this, actually.
He's doing away with the 60s effectively and
Hasn't been...
making it into something a little softer actually.
okay, that's fine. It just
It's an improvement.
I didn't delegate it
Yeah.
because it was such a substantial property going on the
Yeah.
side up the wall.
No objections from the...
No.
Yeah,
I think it's demolishing. Is it demolishing that house there? I think.
Are we keeping you up, sir?
Huh?
Are we keeping you up?
You didn't spend 3 hours in the car to go nowhere.
At what point did you decide to go back to come back then?
I left here at 4:20.
I don't know quite where we told them.
And I got
Sorry.
to, we got to 4:20, and then it got to 6:20, and I was at Hagerty Green, and I thought, okay, at this point now, I need to somehow get back to Harpenden, because I needed to get to the meeting.
Bag chips season, nothing.
I was just in
Right,
So no objection.
if I can bring us back to that one, no objection.
Sorry.
Improvement from the previous.
My problems today later.
Going to be a long night then.
Yeah.
You haven't had mine yet.
It's 2 anniversaries.
Anyway, so can I bring us to order, please?
Moving on, okay.
Me included.
First passing done.
Right, 517-915. 69B High Street. Changes use class B1 to class A. From class
Office
B1
and
to
medical. Are we getting another doctor?
To B1 and D1. Oh right, okay. So
Combined,
it's mixed,
yeah.
combined, yes.
Yeah.
So I went B1 thinking, hang on.
What is 69?
Well, I can't remember.
I'll show you. It's essentially
Softfield
above, yeah, it's on the opposite side of the road. It's kind of above Talkeasy, really.
Oh right.
Talk easy, yes.
Yes, it's above. It's
Yeah.
the space above. So I think it's currently an office, and they're looking to turn it into medical practice.
Yeah.
For physio.
So there's no objection on that from me. Anybody else?
No.
Thank you. Right, 2 St Andrews Avenue, first floor side extension, single storey rear extension, alterations to openings, new first floor windows, installation of roof lights, new garden bike store, gym and home office, increase existing crossover in width and new gates. Recommendation, no objection, subject to the appropriate design and use of materials on this locally listed building in the conservation area. Policies 85 and 87 District Plan refers.
Okay, and the proposed changes are relatively minor. This is a substantial existing property with ample space to accommodate the proposal.
Yes.
Thank you.
We like bicycle stores.
Bicycle storage is very good.
Somebody's been reading the neighbourhood plan. 2-storey rear and side extension and raised terrace following demolition of existing garage at 7 Fairmead Avenue. No objection, subject to no loss of amenity to neighbouring properties. Policy 72 District Plan refers.
Other properties have done similar. The neighbour appears to have already extended, and this application is only in line with the neighbour.
Fair enough.
And there's no loss of parking, is there?
No.
There's no Fairmead is not going to. Thank you. 1B Hollybush Lane, garage conversion to habitable accommodation, enlargement of the front door or window, and new front and rear roof lights. No objection subject to the appropriate design and use of materials in the conservation area and sufficient parking provision on the site. Policies 72.5 and 85 district plan refers.
Okay, and the proposal now only appears to be the addition of roof lights and the change to the garage. Cannot see that much impact will be caused, unsure about the parking. There is an objection online over the rear roof lights from the house on Luton Road, but I couldn't see that because they are roof lights, they are essentially sort of floating in the picture of the roof, but there was going to be any loss of immunity to them now. Maybe on the old application potentially yes, but this one I feel not.
No.
Oh, okay.
And we've got the picture of the roof lights.
Yep. Yeah, so this is the objection. So we wish to raise an objection. Oh no, I'll just get the paper down and you can see. So it's the rear elevation that the people objecting to, which is these two here.
There's mine.
No. So the people that are objecting are number 80, Luton Road, which is down here, 82 in fact,
Yeah.
actually 82 Luton Road. We wish to raise an objection to the proposal for the two rear roof lights. Previous applications, whilst large in scale, had rear windows which directly overlook our property. These applications were refused to appeal as it was felt the proposed development would adversely affect our amenity. We feel the proposed roof lights would have a similar impact on our privacy given the garden overlap. But if your roof lights
Roof lights
see
don't.
there,
No.
no.
And that
No.
window that's there, is that existing?
Where?
Onto the right of the... Oh, so that's the front. I beg your pardon, I'm looking at the front elevation,
so that's
not the rear.
elevation,
Yeah,
the
beg your
rear.
pardon.
So there
So
are
there's
concerns
only
about
two
these. No.
white roof lights.
So they're
They're just purely for light, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Oh, you could probably stand there and stick your head out, but you know, it's not used.
Yeah, I didn't really feel that it was,
I'm happy
I think
with
they might be
Yes.
misunderstood for how they...
So sometimes
I've seen this
get
property,
last
it's just round the
Yeah.
corner from me, it's good.
I'm happy with what you
Yeah.
Thank you. Anything else? No comment. So we've got on page 24, 64 Luton Road, loft conversion with side and rear dormer, windows and front roof lights. No objection subject to the appropriate design and use of materials in this locally listed building in the conservation area. Policies 85 and 87 and the district plan refers.
Okay, this is what's 64 Luton Road, yeah? Appears to be only the addition of two side/rear dormers. Shouldn't cause any impact on the neighbours. The building essentially in the roof and... Yep, okay. That's it.
They're so small it doesn't do it sometimes.
And then this is just post. So there's a little bit to the side there, and then it's, yeah, so that's the side elevation again.
Which is Luton.
It's Luton Road, yeah.
They're set back deep from the road,
So
aren't they?
these- Yes. So that's Hollybush
Yeah.
Lane. Let me try and get that. Yes, they are. Sorry, yeah. So these are the ones. It's, yeah, they've got quite a lot of tree. There's a lot of tree lining, I think, along here.
Anybody else got any comments?
No.
Anybody got any comments? Well, so as laid out, thank you very much. Right, 14 Hartwell Gardens, 5173042. Part single, part two-storey front, side and rear extensions, partial garage conversion, new front board, alterations to roof, two-storey front extension, alterations to openings and installation of roof lights. To be considered by committee.
Yep.
And again, I didn't.
My words
personally
were
charge
quite
you
a
on
large finished dwelling with the extension.
a large.
Quite a large finished dwelling with the extension. think probably the two things to do. So this is existing. And this is the proposed.
Sorry, existing is
This square pit
that one.
there, and that's the proposed there. There's the existing and the proposed again.
Let's see, that's the front side.
Yeah, the more I look at it, the more changes got in.
It's on the corner, isn't it? Yes.
You've got balcony. That's the proposed, that's existing.
I'd say that's improving it.
Right at the end.
I get the impression how he likes to live in a big house.
Say that looks better than
Delusions of grandeur.
Maybe.
this one.
It's right at the end of Harpenden Town, isn't
It
it?
is.
And this farmland, whatever this is, there on the other side.
Again, how we're going compared to the other properties, the neighbouring properties.
Have a little look.
And that we,
Some of them are.
No-
quite
no
large,
objections?
actually. I've not. There weren't any when I looked at this
Right,
back in
okay.
the day.
yeah.
There's hardly a street scene, if you see what I mean.
No, it's
No.
not one of those really. It's up in the corner.
And the stench, it's at the rear. It's made it huge. It's a huge stench. It is big, but it doesn't seem to affect anybody in any degree at all, to any degree.
I think it's this house. Is it this house here? Is it that one?
Sorry, can we take a look at that one?
I think it's that one. If you see, actually, if you look at that one as the existing underneath, then that
Yes.
gives us an idea. I think it is that one.
It does look very much like, so I'm just
Does,
looking where
doesn't
it is right in the corner, isn't
It
it?
is,
Right,
yeah.
the right hand corner.
It's right on the corner.
Thank you.
So maybe its location is not going to really cause it.
No,
I didn't think it was.
Really.
I'm
No.
okay with it.
It's fine.
I'm okay with it.
I think
Okay.
It's massive.
How you would like to do
I mean,
that?
there is parking, there's enough parking.
Oh,
there.
plenty. Ample. More than ample.
You
Yeah.
could fit a tank in there.
Right, okay, fine. When you buy me one, I'll park it.
There's certainly half a dozen bicycles.
I think we're getting there. Right, 31 Cowper Road, single-storey rear of first, I don't know, first floor rear extension, replacement of ground floor and balcony roof. Right, no objection subject to no loss of amenities in neighbouring properties and the appropriate design and use of materials in the locally listed in the conservation area. 31 with slightly outside of the real parking problems there. We need to have a good look at this one.
What was that say?
Right, okay. So, oh yeah, this is a funny one. It's got a first floor conservatory. It's really peculiar. So they're basically wanting to make that brick built.
Oh, good idea.
Oh, it's
They
got
call it a sunroom.
existing.
Yeah.
Oh,
They've
right.
got a sunroom already on the first floor,
Yeah.
and they're wanting to, well, basically I'm just showing you here, they want to fill in a little bit at the back,
Yeah.
on the ground floor level, change the opening, so that
Yes.
we've got bifold doors at the back, and then on the first floor level, where we've got a sunroom at the moment, with a balcony and everything, we're wanting to still keep the balcony, but the sunroom actually have it as a brick built structure.
Makes
Yeah.
sense. Everyone's
And
doing
then
conservatories.
That's basically it, really.
Yes.
Yeah, right, I'll go with, I mean, anything different to that laid out?
No.
I mean, in a sense, people living next door will probably be over the moon.
Well,
Now they
it's
won't
almost,
be looked at.
it's given them some
Yeah.
privacy rather than the other way
Yeah.
around. Okay, fine. That was the penultimate, I think.
One more.
Next one.
We'll just go to the last one. 517-3063, 15 Rosebery Avenue. Demolition of garage and outbuilding and erection of two-storey side extension with accommodation in roof space.
Yeah.
No objection, subject to the appropriate design and use of materials of the locally listed building in the conservation area. Policy 72, 85 and 87.
Yeah, I concur.
Okay. Demolishing the detached garage and building over the footprint of the removed detached garage to have a two-storey, building over the footprint of the garage to a two-storey level. Quite a large extension, but on the end of the plot. Ample space to accommodate, no overlooking windows to the side, houses on Townsend Lane opposite are set lower down in the road. Yeah, fine on me. Those are my words.
So it's not a parking issue, is it?
No.
No.
No, it's not.
Okay, everybody,
Yeah.
thank you. Well, thank you very much.
Right, okay, so did we want
It's not the last little bit, isn't it?
say, so, done the tree works, and then the date of the next meeting is plan B on the 28th of November, and council is on the 11th of December.
We noted the list.
When's
list
plan
of
day
weeks.
then?
Pardon?
Where's,
Our next meeting is December it's 2 weeks.
25th.
I think it's a month from today, actually, because although we'll strictly split into the 6-week period, because of the way that Christmas falls, we would be ending up having our own Boxing Day or something silly. So
Yeah, wouldn't be here.
yes, we wouldn't be here, nor would I. So
I did say
But
Christmas
we
Day.
are
I was
actually-
surprised.
we are reverting back. So the plan B will be a 2-week period, and then we will be a 2-week period. Okay, no, not 2 weeks, sorry, yes, 2 weeks, and then we're again in 2 weeks, and then after Christmas we go back into our 6 weeks.
We won't sit again until
so
March.
which day is it then in December?
So it's Tuesday, I think it's about
14th.
Tuesday the 14th or
14th, round
13th
about
of December, something like that.
It's on the calendar.
It's on there, yes, absolutely, yes.
Could be
Right.
later.
We'll just cover the fact, did I do a list of weekly slaughters in council decisions?
I think you did.
Fine, thank you.
Yeah.
Just make sure. Thank you.
So meeting closed at 9:05.
Yeah,